African soldiers who fought for freedom. Some are dead and some are living. Those that are dead are still fighting on. Those that are living are still fighting.
There is no limit
African soldier
to something you know doing best.
African soldier.
And don't be carried away by what people may say
African soldier.
in your journey to success.
African soldier.
Life, you see, is all about time. Trust and believe in what you do, and you will get to the finished line. It comes with commitment. Oh yes, dedication. Yes, believe in yourself as you believe in God to change your story. Keep moving. If there is certain thing that you are to do till you do it, no one else going to do it. So it tells that you have a task. You have a task wide on earth, so you can complete that task. Continue moving, and no one else going to do it for you. That's the believability concept. Believe in what you do. Good morning. Good morning, folks. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Liberia. It's great to be here on the Monday morning, 23rd January. Oh yes, it's another time. It pleases us being back on the show to work in the best interest of our people. Liberia needs to get better, and it needs the involvement of every Liberian. How do we do it? It's by speaking truth to power, and sometimes just being real to what we say. And as a patriotic citizen, always have love for country. Oh yes, over individual. And I'm taking aback at times when I see people defending individual over the state, pledging loyalty to an individual over the state. What brings to mind as a citizen, when you don't prioritize the country, when you don't think positively, in the right direction for Liberia as a country to move forward, and you dare supporting, pledging your loyalty, putting your neck on the line for politicians, individuals over country. In unity, we all can make Liberia a better place. Oh yes. Like I said, it comes with a commitment as well, a dedication, and putting Liberia as a country first. Good morning, folks. Good morning and welcome to this Monday's edition of Good Morning Liberia on 104.1 FM. My name is April Parker. Oh yeah, I'm right here this morning to drive you through up to 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we'll call it a day on this edition. But it's great to be here. Those of you watching this morning, welcome. All you need to do, just tell us exactly where you're following us from. We will acknowledge you following us this morning. Right? Invite somebody, share the live. This is Voice of Liberia. Too many things to talk about. Yes, too many things to talk about this morning. And we're hoping to visit our contacts. There is this report from Maryland County that Vanny Command will bring us up to speed from Maryland County, also from Nima. There are workers who want to protest in Nima. What for Ruben Guan for Nima will tell us. And we've been notified that the Tottenham University over the weekend administered its first master's entry. Oh yes, it is a good news for people in the southeast. It is good to decentralize education. So we'll talk about that this morning. We're hoping to place call to the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police. You know, the discovery of the deadly weapons in Liberia. He needs to bring us up to speed this morning. Hope Moses Carter can pick up when we shall have joined him this morning on the line. He listened to the president on Friday. He said something key, and we will highlight that this morning. And it places us Liberians looking at the opposition community, how organized they are in making the better choice in 2023. The elections is just a red next door. So we will be here this morning. We'll talk about the president said something so essential. This gone weekend was on Friday when he launched the the life jackets to feature men in Liberia. He says something key. Politically, it's been attached, and such a gathering will call for something most especially, when we are drawing closer to these elections. You will hear political statements coming from the left, the right. On we go. But it is your responsibility as Liberians who are charged, who the Constitution gave the power to make the right choice. So the president said something key this gun time, and many people said it has been political. Oh yes, he is a political leader, and he is headed for a crucial election that is in 2023. So a gathering of such where he has his supporters, he will always say something that will have the crowd going, wow. So that's it. We're going to look at that this morning. A couple of other issues this morning. We anticipating the appearance of Mr. Ansu Keita. Yes, Mr. Ansu Keita will be our guest this morning. We talk more about the newly established political party as Secretary General. Yes, he will be here this morning. That will be at 9 o'clock, where we can talk more about Liberia, his political institution, what actually they want to achieve, and it is good to provide people the space at times. And we always said here at Voice of Liberia, we do not discriminate. We always give people the opportunity. Those who want to be heard, indeed, you can be heard. And all sides of the device will definitely provide you the opportunity where you can speak, be a political social and the rest of it. We'll always provide you the opportunity. So this morning, if you following us, wheresoever you're following us from, you can just leave your comment in the comment section. And indeed, we will acknowledge you following this morning. 30 minutes up to 8 o'clock. So I will give you 2 minutes. Those of you following, all you need to do, just share the live and invite somebody to the conversation this morning. It is on, and we're going to do it like this. Like I said, it is important that we work in the best interest of our country, Liberia. Too many things are happening in Liberia. We gather here every morning to talk the talk in the best interest of Liberia. Share the live, invite somebody, folks, and let's have conversation this morning. Those of you following via the radio or YouTube would like to say good morning and welcome. Those of you following and you want to make your contribution to our show, the WhatsApp number is pinned on the stream, and you will definitely follow the conversation as you be opportune to place your call this morning. So we're going to do it like this. Like I said, we will visit Maryland County, where Vanny will bring us up to speed too many too many issues to talk about. Like I said, President Weah made a statement over the weekend. We will play that statement for you, and you're going to listen to it. He said a lot on on Friday. We will definitely look at that, couple with lots of reports that come out against let's say against the president. Yes, lots of reports are out from civil society groupings, in Liberia and the rest of it. So we are heading for a crucial process. We want for Liberians to give that independent, opinion this morning, as per some of these reports that have come out. Uh, you know, uh, Looking at the workings of the presidency and the national legislature, the government as a whole, where do we stand? Are we heading for a crucial process? These reports go to determine as to whether this government has performed and should be given a second chance, or the government hasn't performed at all, and it is time to give the we or turn the we over to the opposition bloc. How prepared are those within the opposition? The former vice president Joseph Yuma Boaka came outside. I think that was on Thursday. Yes, and you saw people at his party headquarters on Broad Street. The former vice president came out after too many information of his health condition. He had to come out, and it was interesting to note that the former vice president departed Liberia on Sunday. He arrived in the United States of America. So as we speak, the former vice president is in the United States of America. Too many people are saying, too many things, but we followed that's a press release from the Unity Party, and according to the Unity Party, aside from what we have gathered, or aside from what people have said or been saying in the streets canon, the former vice president has gone to lobby it. And according to the Unity Party, the former vice president's quest of making Liberia a better country, taking the government or taking Liberia from in the hands of the CDC, the ruling establishment, is key, is essential, and he will go all up in making sure that Liberia be rescued in these elections. Okay, so that's it. These things you expected. So okay. So Jefferson STS says, good morning, guys, and the peace-loving people of District 12, Mosorado County, the district with a lawmaker. Wow. And I'm following from my office, Temple of Justice, Republic of Liberia. Thanks for joining us, Jefferson STA. Papi Keita says, good morning, Liberia-VOL. This is Voice of Liberia. He say, I'm CDC Papi Success Keita from Dupont Row. Thanks for joining us, Papi. Roberta Riches says, I'm watching from Louisville. Thanks for Kentucky. Thanks for joining us, Roberta. It is nice having you on the show. And this one says, I'm Prince Nango Jr. I'm watching from the headquarters of the Revolutionary National First Time Voters of Liberia, CDC. Thanks for joining us, Nangbe. Ansu Koman watches from Five, says, good morning. Is it that you're following from Clay? Okay. Ansu Koman. George G. Saki Jr. says, good morning, Voice of Liberia and the peace-loving people of District 14. I'm watching from the most talked about Honorable John Sylvester Alice Avenue in Basatan, Do community. Thanks for this wonderful platform. Thanks for joining us, George. And the rest of you following, just leave your comment in the comment section, and we will acknowledge you following this morning. All right. So it is great to be here, folks. Those of you following, just share the live, and let's have conversation this morning. We want to travel to Maryland County, where our man Ruben, not Ruben, but Vanny Kama can bring us up to speed this morning, and we'll highlight exactly what the president said on Friday. Okay. Ruben will join us from Maryland. That's Nima. Yes, Ruben will join us later on from Nima this morning. But Vanny Command is live from Maryland County. Good morning, Vanny. Let's hear you. How is Maryland? I think you're falling from Plebo or where?
much. This morning, I'm joining you in Plibo, Sullivan District,
I,
the commercial city of Maryland.
okay, commercial city. So when it comes to commercial purposes, that city is charged. That exactly what you mean.
Exactly, exactly. It's fully charged when it comes to the commercial activities.
If that's good. Vani, you reporting this morning that the first ever master's entrance for master candidates in the southeastern part of Liberia was administered over the weekend. Tell us, how did it go? I think it is a good news for students in Maryland and Sino, Grand Crew, and the rest of the areas.
Oh well, thank you very much. Over the weekend, the Tottenham University, the second state university in Liberia, administered the first ever entrance for master program. The activities of the program started a few years back, where during the administration of the former president, Dr. Elliot Wheeler Wilson, they were negotiating for the process of master program. Well,
Mhm.
during the administration of this current acting president, Dr. Emmanuel Red, over the weekend they administered the master entrance. They, according to the president, they have gotten approval from the government of Liberia to carry on the master program in the southeast. So they said the thought was that when you look at the southeastern counties, uh, it was about 200 students that sat for the exam, the entrance exam. So this clearly indicates that people in the southeast that have been struggling to go to Monrovia, other parts of the world to do their master. So Tottenham University that was established. That began full-fledged university during the administration of President Eli Johnson Sirleaf, that enabled many students in the southeast to obtain a bachelor degree is now trying or doing everything possible to offer a master program. And according to the president of the university, he said currently there are 12 PhD professors on the main campus of the university, and other professors.
PhD.
Yeah, PhD professors are currently in Maryland. They have been teaching on the campus or doing on a BSc program. So he said there are other
They,
professors, about
they
10 professors will soon arrive to Maryland County in the next 30 days.
The last time we spoke about the issue of our instructors at the Maryland University in that part of the country, the instructors were bored and they said that sometimes promises have been made, the issue of staff quarters and the rest of it, and whenever they go over, they do see these things. Now the university, as part of government's plan, has rolled out the master's program. It's 200 students. Let's take it bit by bit. What did the administration say about some of the first programs that will be offered to students who have taken the entrance?
Oh well, the administration said officially our classes will start in March. In March of this year, classes will start, and they go to offer courses under the six colleges because the university has six colleges. So they're going to offer courses in all of the six colleges of the university. Like for the College of Business Administration, they're going to offer international resource management. For engineering, they're going to offer engineering management, and other for the College of Agriculture and Food Science, they're going to offer agronomy and other courses that they're going to offer for the starting part of the activity. And he said the program is going to run for 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, but okay. So as it stands, it is a good news for students in Maryland County. But have you spoken with some of the instructors so far? Because this thing about the staff, the faculty association, sometimes they can be in agreement with some of these things, and they would have to put forward for benefits and the rest of it. Have you spoken? What have they said so far about this program or these programs that will be offering at the university?
Oh, well, thank you very much. For the faculties, currently, the Faculty Association of Tottenham University, they are not currently, they have not sent grades yet for last semester. Just the registration should have started the 4th of January, but the faculty are saying the protest that were held last year in
Mhm.
2022, there was a protest where the faculty association requested for the removal of the former president where he resigned.
Mhm.
So the faculty requested for some material like the t-shirt cutter and other facilities for the university. So according to them, the criteria were not met. So they are still calling on the administration to work on those things before normal activity resumes. So the registration should have started on the 4th of January, but up to now, it was just today we are getting information that students should come on campus. But the prior to the ending of last semester, the faculties association president, Mr. Francis Fuka, spoke on the master program that the issue about the master program is not for now. It is not necessary for the university because he looking at the undergraduate program is not is not 100% to that standard, not academically, but in terms of the facility.
Infrastructure, yeah. Yeah.
But the administration, the president said that they will do everything possible uh, to provide facility for the master program while they are still going through the undergraduate program.
Okay, okay, Vonnie. Thanks for joining us from Maryland. Wish you the best and be good, man, from Maryland.
All right, thank you very much, Pacos.
Okay, Viney Carmine there from Maryland, bringing us up to speed. From Maryland County, it is great that we have Vanny on the line. Hope Ruben can pick up as well this morning, and then we'll get to the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police, Mr. Moses Carter, to talk to us this morning on issues surrounding let's say he gave us update this morning, and it's great that we have the spokesperson to talk to us. Is important that he can actually pick up, and Moses Carter, spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, can speak with us this morning. This is Good Morning Liberia on VOL 90. That's 104.1. What? Okay, certain thing just that's a beauty. So Ruben can pick up this morning. Ruben will bring us up to speed. It is our understanding that there should be a protest action from workers in Nima County. I don't know what's happening to Ruben this morning. Ruben can actually bring us up to speed this morning. This is Good Morning Liberia on VOL 104.1 FN. If Ruben can pick, we'll go over to the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police to give us update this morning and some of the issues unfolding country from the standpoint of the LMP and its activities is great. It is great that okay, so hope I can get the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police on this angle this morning. Moses Carter, hope you can pick up and speak with us this morning. It is important to give Liberians update. This CPP thing, the 70K saga, the guy was arrested, yes, turned over to the Liberian National Police, and I'm told that he has been charged and forwarded to court. That's the beauty of the justice system. So sometimes you see our guys in our position, training the sweater. Only us can make the setup better. Yes, only us as Liberians can make the setter better to make it the way we want it to be. The hope I don't know, the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, Mr. Moses Carter, hope we can get in on this line, on this side. Yes, so it is good that Moses Carter can join us. This issue of the weapons in country. And where are we now? The last time they informed Liberians that they government is in strong partnership with the U.S. Government in making sure that the need that popped up during the arrest, he can be brought to Liberia or whatever way for proper investigation. It is important. And today is Monday. We have begun another week, and it is great that you give update on the activities of the LMP. But I think Moses Carter is not peaking this morning, folks. It is more like okay, so folks, we are here this morning. I'm doing everything possible to get to Moses Carter. Yes, 4 minutes on the flip side of it. Those of you just joining us, welcome, and those of you watching as well. It is great to be here on a beautiful Monday. This conversation runs up to 10 at 10. We say goodbye to you on this edition of the show this morning. It's great to be here. Like I said, 9 o'clock, Mr. and Ishmael Keita will be our guest. We'll talk more about his political institution, and then we'll call it a day at 10 o'clock this morning. The spokesperson of the Liberian National Police is now speaking. We're getting prior notice, and Moses Carter is now speaking. Okay, folks, it is great to be here. And like we said, the president made a very political statement over the weekend. But before then, civil society groups in Liberia have been releasing reports on some of the activities ranging from the executive, ranging from the legislative branch, and the judiciary as well. So, uh, and these reports are important to the existence of our country, yes, and they are reports that make or it places Liberians in the for an informed background to speak whenever there are issues to be discussed. So Nemo came up with its second edition of the Legislative Digest, which covers the period from January 1 to 2022. We talked about that the last time, and where the assessment found that the legislature held 167 sessions or sittings, of which 106, which is 63% of those sittings were regular sittings, and 36, which is 22%, were secret or executive sittings. 9, which is 5%, were special sittings, and 16, which is 10%, were extraordinary sittings. It is good. I hope our legislative reporter Gibson G, when he shall have gotten more insight of how the legislature works and the rest of it, can tell us, the issue about the way in which the sittings are done at the national legislature, where you will have 63%, all of 167, which is 106. You have 63% of those sittings were regular sittings, and 36% you have secret or executive. So, what does it mean when we say secret or executive sitting? And these issues, most especially when we say secret, these things are issues, or they are issues that are not to be discussed outside or for Liberian people to know. So, but you can be discussing the issue of maybe a committee having maybe a discussion on certain ministry that they represent at the national legislature as chair, probably on commerce or internal affairs or information, and then you go to a secret place to have a sitting on set, a discussion. In these settings, when we talk about secret settings, I think it should be issued of more like issues that I are being attached to the safety of the state, like some security implications and the rest of it, and you name it. So on we go. It said there were 29 public hearings held during the year that is 2022, and all secret sittings were held by the House of Representatives. The legislature passed a total of 53 bills during the year 2022, and of which 35, which is 66%, came from the executive, which is the presidency. The last time we told you, it appears as if the legislature, the lawmakers, are squarely working for the president when you have 35 bills, 35 bills out of 60, out of 53, constituting 66% of what the lawmakers went there for one whole year. You see the executive. Don't quote me wrong. The executive is being empowered to also proffer bills. Yes, the executive is charged with the constitutional responsibility to proffer bills and give out what the executive feels is necessary for that particular time. But again, it will be on the opposite when those who are charged with the responsibility for the holistic scene, lawmakers are to make law, and then for a whole 1 year, round year, you see lawmakers 12 bills from the House of Representatives, 70 plus human beings gathered one place for 1 year. The president tops with 35 bills, 66% out of the total of 100, 53 bills out of the total of 53 bills, which 35 came from the presidency and 12 from the House of Representatives, 6, which is 11% from the Liberian Senate. So it appears that the legislature is hoping and squarely depending on the presidency before we have essential bills to be passed in our country. Sometimes let us sit and analyze from the point where the issue of Liberians sometimes petition the lawmakers and tell them, this is what we want you to do. Some of the lawmakers who are not vocal, who are not attached at the national legislature when it comes to this party sentiment, where sometimes the lawmakers get frustrated. The last time Representative Mema Breeze Mensa was here, she said sometimes she gets frustrated when the gas tied Liberians issue to political party thing. So sometimes some of the lawmakers want to put issues that are of essence to the growth of our country. But when these communications or when these proposed bills I've been presented, and sometimes it goes to committee room for further discussion. It dies perpetual death. You will not hear about it 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whenever they have been asked about some of these recommendations that Liberians feel and believe will be better in the interest of the country and its citizens. They will tell you that that particular instrument is in committee's realm. And on we go, year in, year out, that communication or that instrument will be in committee's realm. And nothing. They wouldn't tell you things that will benefit the Liberian people. But here is the legislature, as Benemot report, recording 63% of all of what the lawmakers did for whole 1 year. 63% of what they're doing in what they feel that they know best, which is lawmaking, came from the presidency. And like I said, they are good instruments coming from Liberians to their lawmakers, their able representation at the national legislature, but they don't talk or they don't speak to some of these things. When it enters committee room, it dies perpetual death, and they will never talk about it. But again, they can be very robust, very vocal when bills are coming from the presidency, and they give it a 4G passage. That's the type of legislature we have. And that's why sometimes when these rankings of officials come out and they say your lawmaker score O, which is 0, do not be surprised, because some of them, they only go to work when there is maybe the budget has surfaced and they want to know what will go to their particular or their respective areas of interest. That's when you see them going to work. One is Representative Thomas Fala. We've been told on several occasions that the lawmaker doesn't go to work, but the man can be very robust as chair on Ways and Means, that whenever the budget surfaces, that's when you see the man playing his role as a lawmaker. We're crowding in this country that the issue of drug, some level of national emergency needed to be attached. We cry, only because they felt that we're going to elections and Liberians are calling for this particular thing. They had to show little attention to it. Where is it now? At the level of the presidency. So 66% out of 100, what the lawmakers have gone out to do, they feel. Let me welcome Harris. Good morning, Harris.
Good morning, Paco. And good morning to the folks listening. All those of you following the program this morning, we say good morning. And thanks.
I think you would need to.
And thanks for following this
coming. Okay. So, like we continue to say, all of these things will happen, and at the end result, the people look squarely to the presidency to make the law. That is just Nambo's report. Now, the next report, the first report that came out against the government, where you have the legislature, you have the executive, you have the judiciary. Harris, what is the civil society organization where this guy represents? The fellow who hosted the last time, and I'm just mistaking his institution. My word, hope I can. Yes, I think I know. Yeah, so there was this report that came out blanking the three branches of government, and the people score. Oh, they failed. Oh, yes, the executive, if the national legislature and the judiciary. People talked about hardcore judiciary issues in our country, that the government hasn't really been robust in fighting the issue of ritualistic killing, the secret killings around the country. These things were being highlighted into that civil society report, and the issue of oversight. Oh, yes, no lawmaker, can tell you that they've been very robust when it comes to their oversight responsibility. Two of the lawmakers have admitted. The latest was this gone Wednesday. When they say the issue of oversight, we failed. And that's one of the most essential power or responsibilities of a lawmaker: oversight. If you fail to use the oversight, the people you represent at the national legislature will have no space into the governance space or circle of our country. It will just be the scene 6 and 7 because you failed to perform your responsibility. That survey was conducted in 10 of Liberia's 15 counties. And these reports, most especially when we have a crucial process, and when these reports come out, added against the presidency, is the executive, which has been occupied by the president, the national legislature, where we have the lawmakers. It places Liberians in the right direction to make either a change, a U-turn, or continue. So sometimes our question has been, when these reports come out, how do Liberians react? How do Liberians receive these reports? That they will speak from an informed background into the decision-making processes of our country. The latest report that came out linking the president's meter, it highlighted some of the promises made by the Liberian president during the campaign time in 2017, Harris, up to 2022. What does the report say about the Liberian presidency? What does the report say about the Liberian presidency ahead of the 2023 elections? And then we'll link what the president said over the weekend, and you have your say this morning. This is Good Morning Liberia, 104.1 FM. April and Parker, yes. Harris Willie is here. So we're going to just highlight some of what the report says about the presidency, some of the promises made by the Liberian leader as to whether the president has made a pass in some of the things he said, or he hasn't at all. Nemo is telling us this morning from her report released that the president promises some, he hasn't lived up to some of his promises. Eyes been seen, has been heard in streets canon. But the president, in his own wisdom, as per what he's doing, and not linking with the proper agenda for prosperity and development, the PAPD has been seen, or as it was being developed, lots of promises were made in that particular agreement. But if you read through some of what they said, most especially improving the agricultural sector of our country, it is still lacking behind. Oh, yes. They talk about education. Have they done well on the issue of education? Primary education is something that we need to focus on. The government hasn't done well on the line of primary education. Evidence by the MCC scorecard, evidence by what we see into the educational sector of our country, most especially from the primary, where we have early childhood development and the rest of it. The government is focused squarely, in which we must commend, because it has been an issue over the time in our country, where the issue of wise fees and the issue of people enrolling to higher institutions, most especially the public institutions, when they should have graduated, sometimes they do not have the finance to forward their studies. The government was very, very instrumental to have, developed a policy in their own interest in making sure that Liberian students get enrolled. What more about the provision of jobs? The MCC scorecard made us to understand that Liberia scored 100%. But again, times we've had a number who have asked this question: in what areas? Is it that the country is improving 100%? If Liberia has scored 100% on the issue of job provision, is it in the governance sector, or in the private sector, or individuals, entrepreneurs, who are making sure that, instead of government being the one doing it, oh yes, government has a responsibility to provide jobs to its citizens. Oh yes. But is it that in the private sector, or entrepreneurs who went for studies and at the end of the day they decided to develop ideas that they can also empower their federal citizens? Which areas? Let's look at the health sector. Oh yes, let's look at the health sector. We talked about this issue about the health sector, and one of the things the government that we must appreciate is the construction of hospitals. The construction of hospitals. But how responsible are those who are managing the hospital to get it up to date, or how lively are these facilities as being constructed around the country, is that they can undertake the high core tasks. The issue of surgery, yes, surgery has been done at the JFK, yes. We talk about the 14 military hospital, and it's one of the things, or one of the developments that this government can talk about. Oh yes. The issue of the Emirate Hospital in Bapolu. Oh yes. The government can talk about it because they initiated it and then they ended it. What more about other hospitals? These constructions enough to say that the health sector has been improved or has improved over the years? What are Liberians saying? What are Liberians saying? So Nembod is telling us that the president made some promises, and some of the promises he said, some of the things he said he would have done in his first 6 years are now being lived up to. What more about rural rehabilitation construction? The president talked about the coastal highway. Where are we? The overhead bridge. Where are we as a country? These promises were being captured. Were being captured on a NEMO's report or the president's meter. And they are key to highlight these things, most especially when Liberia will be going through elections. Oh, yes, it is important that we highlight some of these things because it has reached a point where we can talk about it as a country and where we are headed. Where we are headed. I hope Harris can just give us if they. I think that's a report, Harris. No, not it. That's it. That should be. That's it. That's the report, Harris. That's the president's meter. I think it has to do with. Okay. So before we can get to the to what the president said over the weekend, we will play that particular voice for you, linking with all of what if the civil society organizations, these independent organizations come out. Yeah, I think Harris, you can just read out the five-year performance report, just read up there, and we can talk about it a bit, and then we'll go over to we can go to what the president said and made all of the reports that are coming up against the president, whether it's in favor of the president. You Liberians will give your own independent judgment. So I think I think you could just summarize it, Harris. You could just no need to go up, no need to go up. Yeah, just summarize it right around there. Yes, what Nembo said, and then we move on. You can just summarize it from that end, and then we go on. It's 30 minutes now. You could go on. What Nembo says as per her 5 years performance report on the president.
So the thing about it is that the president meter project, according to Nemo, says it covers the 5 years performance report of the president. That's President Weah, because on every administration they come up with this report, and so is this the assessment found that 292 premises were tracked, of which only 8%, that's 24 premises. So 24 out of 92, 292 premises.
292.
24 premises have been completed.
24.
That is the government have said we would do it, and it did. And the assessment also found that the implementation of 91 premises, that's 31% of the premises, was ongoing during the reporting period. So this means that at the time when NAMO were collecting all of the data, the statistics, they found out that 91 premises are ongoing currently as we speak.
Okay.
And so if we combine the ones completed and including the ones that are ongoing, it was some out to some by 39%, which is about 39% of the entire premises.
Okay. So out of 139.
39. And so nearly 2/3 of all premises, that's 61% of 177 premises, were identified as not started or not rated because the government had not commenced work on their implementation, and there was no available information on the status of those premises. So 39 premises, including the ones completed, that's 39% of 292 premises, ones completed, ones that are in progress. So if you agree the government has done 39%, which is a failure, 39% of the 292 premises.
Okay. So anytime this week we will have we will have the team from NEMO to actually talk to us on this issue. So it tells that and they use a key word in that particular report. They said tracked, meaning the ones they were able to gather, the ones they were able whenever the president went somewhere and then he said something, the ones they were able to get for from 2017 up to 2022, 2022, 2023 were about 292 promises. 292 promises in total. And out of the 292, 24 have been completed. 24 have been completed. When they were in the issue of the report, they found out that 91 out of the 292 promises, 91 were already ongoing. If you sum the 91 and 24, you have 115 promises. The 115 promises out of 992, if the 115 promises or the 91 promises that was summed to 115, all of the you will have 177 to complete the 292 promises made by the president. So 91 promises ongoing, 24 completed is 115. 115 you minus 292 as being the total promises tracked by NEMO, you will have 177. 177 to be touched, or 177 are yet to be touched. 177 promises are yet to be touched. What does it mean for the Liberian presidency? 36%, right?
39%.
39%. 39%. Okay. So you see, 39% as per NAMOS, so you have about 61% of the promise or promises made by the Liberian leader. 61 hasn't been, or we don't know as to whether it will be touched, or we will see that. But it's good at times, Iris, to have these organizations.
One of the things I I got up from this entire thing, even at the time when this report was released, NAMOT Executive Director Eddie Jaulo said, he said some of the promises the president made are unrealistic. So it boils down to how the guys use politics, how the guys consider the living condition, the livelihood of the people, and influence,
They're unrealistic.
their ambition, influence the citizens' confidence in them that they can do it.
Mhm.
So Namo says, especially the 61%, which is 177 promises that are not started, right? And both of the promises were gathered from the president's counter tour.
Yeah,
Some
sure.
of the promises were gathered from at the time 2017, before he could be elected, and during his election, after he being elected up to 2021, 2020, 21, when he carried on the county tour. So Namo said he tracked most of these promises from there, and also on some of the policy statements he made. Some of during a speech at the State of the Nation address, you want to recall sometimes the president made a lot of promises. So it boils down to how it places the government in a very difficult condition to convince the citizens. Now, you have out of 292 promises this organization was able to track, only 24 promises have been completed, and you have 91 still ongoing. So assuming that even the 24 and the 91 will combine, will be 115 out of 292. So it still presents that the president made a lot of promises and they're able to implement just a little. So what happened in a 6-year period is that the government, on the other hand, should be considering this report very important. It is, and it's one of the things we always tell those in authority, those what are supporter of government or not supporter of government. You need to consider these things. Every developed country, the sources the source of every developed of every government relies on a civil society organization. The source of every government will depend as well on the media. That's what happened. But in Liberia times, the government will want to use this report we want to see it. We don't want to give credence to them. Sometimes when these things are talked on the media, those in authority that want to tell and don't want to be friendly with that media institution anymore because you want to say the truth. But in all of developed countries, these reports, civil society reports, are taken very seriously. The government places strong evidence on this report because it help you. Now, what it does is that all of the reports are now captured. Perhaps the government have been in a position to do some of them, but maybe some of the reports were made. Some of the promises were made back then in 2017. Now, join in 2021, as the government moves along, it meets challenges, right? As the government meets challenges, they want to solve that current situation. So sometimes you tend to forget about the promise you made some 3, 4, 5 years back. Now, when the civil society be able to, when the civil society remind you, for me, I see this report as a reminder to the government that, hey, you said you're going to do X, Y, Z for the Liberian people. We have gone 5 years, you haven't done it. Can you do it? Can you do it? And when you look at in our report at the end of it, the recommendations. One of the recommendations,
they always stand.
One of the recommendations as Tinto was that the government should establish a communication-based system with the citizens, so that we'll be able to tell you this is where the government is, this is where we are going, this is how we think we can achieve it together. So it's just strongly on the communication strategy of the government. That's one of the things that's too taught in the recommendation. Haven't we said it on this radio? We have said it oftentimes. That one of the things affecting this government and will continue to affect this government is the issue of the communication strategy they have. So NAMO is telling us now that 292 premises. Will the government be able to come and say, hey, NAMO, you said 177 premises have been completed, and NAMO lists all of those premises. I'm saying, will the government be able to come and say, even though the report is right, but this premise you said we haven't done, this is where we are? Because even those that should be controlling these things don't even have information.
But this is what happened. You know that the guys from the government angle, when the Ministry of Information that is heavily challenged, and the workers over there are crying because they don't want to pay them good money. When they released the president's performance report, just as Gontan year-end review, you know that some of the guys from the CDC who don't even know the successes of the very institution they represent, they took that particular report and started running with the government has done this. But sometimes you ask them, yes, the government has been able to place teachers on payroll. So tell us now, how were they placed on payroll? Look, they representatives of this government. Those of you who are just moving and tell Liberians that the government has done this, you must be able to convince the people. Don't just see one report and run with it that it happening this way, and then you cannot explain whenever questions have been asked surrounding to that particular report has been really. The people just put it there. The people just put it there. They put it there now. It was just a recent people got to know that the government is doing this, the government is doing that, because they were doing summary of what the government has done over the years and things. Now you see seditians are coming. Sometimes it is not about running with the information, but go to the very institution, let the institution break it down, because some of you, you're just in the government, and at the end result, you don't even know what some of the things that your own people doing. You can't ask them what the president is doing. Harry, you talked about is your information. It's key. You ask them what the government is doing, what the president has done. The man will tell you the president has done well, but he cannot tell you in what area the president has done well. That's a serious disservice.
But that's what happened when the flow of information is a problem, right? Because, for instance, if I'm supporting the government, and every time when things happen, the government is able to catalog all of its successes, right? Is able to attach, or where can we locate these gains, right? At what point in time that the government achieved it? The year is attached. Where can we find them? Is attached. You place me in a very good position now that when I'm defending the government, I'll tell you that, for instance, if the government has given 15 teachers, employment status, right? I'm going to be telling the years, right? And if by extension, I'll tell you, where are those teachers? Where can we find those teachers? Right? Maybe I'll tell you, go Maryland, we have 3 of those teachers in the high school there in Maryland. I'll tell you, go Bombay, we have 2 of those instructors in Bombay. because everything the government follows up and be able to provide a detailed information. But today you won't find these things. So, like you said, you have one guy defending the government, say the government build roads, build schools, build this. Something you ask them, where are those things? The next thing they ask you, well, you're not here, you can see it. I mean, that's it. So, what are we saying is that this report is more of like a wake up call to the government.
Yeah.
It is a reminder. It's telling you that, Mr. President, in all fairness, why it's true that you have maintained peace over the last 5 years, why it's true that you don't have no political prisoner in this country over the last 5 years, Mr. President, why it's true that you have transgressed to a point where at least Liberia has passed in the MCC scorecard. But these are things you said to the Liberian people. And now, this is what it does. When these things are not done, election period is around. You're in opposition, it plays in a very difficult condition as well. Now, this is what I've come to the realization, right? That those in opposition, if you go back to the citizens and say, we'll build school, you know, next people are going to say, a lot of people come and say they'll build school, then pay for all. So what do you come and tell again? So when the government says they will do it, and when they do it, it also affect those are opposing the government. Because the people,
they didn't.
because the thing about it, the elections. No, this is my analysis. This is my analysis about it. This is elections, right? It's politics. If you go to someone and say, "I will build house for you," and the person let you, and after 4 or 5 years you don't build a house, the next man coming, it plays that man in a very difficult condition. Because this is what happens. When that man says he will build a house, whether he has the capacity to build it or not, the people say that's also in there. That is seeing people coming by again. I'm telling you, honestly, that's what will happen. So whether the man that is coming is able to do it, they want to use the situation that happened previously to judge you. That's why we say oftentimes at the lectures, the people need to understand that you need to examine your leaders. You need to know what the man stands for, what the man has been into before he wants to ascend to popular office.
Okay, all right. So it is good now. Like it is good that we bring out these discussions. It is healthy for the safety of our country, and all is not lost. All hope is not lost. It is a wake up call for the Liberian president to come out. And sometimes I don't know how Liberians read these reports, Harris. It was my question the last time I've been wondering how Liberians.
At times, those in government can do everything sometimes to, I don't know, say suppress these people from coming from joining the attention of the public, but the guys can prevent. I had been that if the government passed about 178 or 79 of those premises,
they're moving on radio station.
They was trying to get their media team. The last time on the MCC report, and the minute shut up about it. They say today Monday I'll go freedom, Tuesday I'll go this, Wednesday I'll come for that period, Thursday I'll go ERPC. So, but they better do everything. I'm telling you, this is what happened.
But I think they need to wake up. That they need to read the report and some of the areas they think they have not done well to go back. Even on the people proper agenda for prosperity and development, PAPD, the people. I don't know whether they can really go back to that report.
I think even the report that mentions something about that
the people have forgotten the manifesto. You know, they are forgetting the manifesto of the entire thing, the whole thing they talk about. They are forgetting it, and I think it is good that they can go back. But we followed the president over the weekend, fellow Liberians, to open the line for you very shortly in 2 minutes. I want you to play. There's certain thing on the stuff there. I know. Yeah, you can just play it for us. The president said, "Those who are coming to you," squarely he was talking to Arizona Kumis. You know that one of the things that people can be brave enough. If you want to go at your opponent, go at the man. If you want to go at the man, go at the man. It is not necessary that you be, like you talking that you gossip. The thing, all of the things that we see in this country are glaring. Sometimes the opposition don't want to come straight. They want to talking to the president. Who are you opposing at the president? Say you're opposing. Who President we was talking to squarely on Friday, the Arizona Kumis, who we know to talk about, Coca-Cola in our country, Arizona Kumis. So the president was bold when he said that those who are coming saying that we haven't done much, we haven't done anything, and that you guys should get us up, get us out of the entire process, go and ask them what have they done. He said, this is Liberia, where when you went for a party, the president, where maybe you wear a clothes that is quite, similar to what the presidents wear, you can stay on that party and nothing will happen to you. That's the type of Liberia he has built. If you are riding a, open top car, a car similar to the president's car, his sportage vehicle, you can ride with Pete and D, common man would say, and no one will overtake you or put you aside and ask you why you're riding the same car as the president. This is a country where you have no political prisoners. And then you talked about the journalists as well. Yeah, I know you almost want to say that part. So the president said too as well that this is a country where the journalists will come and then, sit with me, eat, and at the end result they say discuss me, and no one goes to jail. That's the type of Liberia we have built. But again, these people are coming. Instead of building hospitals, building roads, giving tuition-free education to students at the University of Liberia and other public higher institutions a bad thing? It was a question he asked Liberians. He talked about the payment of wise fees. Is it a bad thing? He asked Liberians this gone Friday. And then he ended by saying, people want to unseat us, but they were not men enough to have allowed Liberia enjoyed the state of Coca-Cola in Liberia, and Coca-Cola had to leave Liberia. And the president said, through his good work, he and his partner worked in bringing Coca-Cola back to Liberia. And now the taste Coca-Cola, let's say Coca-Cola has now is much preferable than what it was when Alexander Cummings, who was serving as a board chair on Coca-Cola, couldn't do. He said Alexander Cummings failed to have allowed Coca-Cola left this country without even saying a word, meaning Alexander Cummings and his legs should not be talking about taking over the country when they failed in common thing when he served as board chair on Coca-Cola at the level as vice president. Liberia should have had more factories by now that are producing different things. He said he couldn't be a board chair at the level of Coca-Cola, and Liberia is still lacking on some of what we're seeing now. So the president said these people should not be taken seriously. Harris, I want you to play the president's voice just for 1 minute. We'll call it a day on this segment. We'll go to the telephone line where Liberians can wait in on this one. Just play it.
But I can tell you, like, people, those people that are constantly debating people and saying that the person can't do to the president. No, those people are among us. They're not new people. These are people that are among us that did not do the right thing. And we took them out of our system. And these are the people coming back to say, hey, can be the best.
They want to Joseph Wagamun here.
Our country are moving forward. There's no reason for someone to tell you that free education is a wrong choice. There's no way. There's no reason for someone to tell you that you build new hospitals in the country is the wrong thing to do. So I want to ask you, if building hospitals, building roads, and giving free education, paying wise fees, and making sure that the economy that is left from 27 now is to almost or 9 to 7% is wrong, then what are they coming for? What are they coming to face? Because if anyone that wants to be a leader that tells you building hospital is wrong, then he's not a leader. If anyone tells you building roads to connect our country is wrong, then he's not a leader. So don't let the people do. We came back to this country to make sure that Liberia also be part of the developmental country that people will come to. So don't let them fool you. I hear some people talking about, oh, and that's just a Coca-Cola factory. Coca-Cola factory is right chemical to place chemical.
You say what?
Then I brought John on the base chemical. But I brought John on the
Okay, so the president went at Joseph Human Boaga, former vice president, when he said these are people who were around and they want to come back. We got them off because they were not doing much. Liberians voted them out. They want to come back. And it means they did Liberia job that just to miss chemical. So we talked about the report. 60% of the president's promises, having been lived up to, 39% completed. 177, which is 61%, yet to be 39, 115 if you had 24 with 91 ongoing. And the president is keen looking at Arizona Kumis. The man say you didn't that role you're playing there for Liberia can miss chemical, you didn't work can make for Liberia to get better. So he went at them. How is it go to the telephone line now?
0770-907-907, added numbers. Call us on this numbers and from part of the program this morning. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907.
So we'll take your calls now at 9 o'clock. Like we said, Mr. Ishmael Keita will be here this morning. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. We'll have a call on the line. This person, good morning. Just away from your receiver.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Well, I'm Prince here, number 2. I'm calling from the borough of Houston.
Let's hear you, Prince. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. To be precise, I'm the vice chair for the U.S. government of the Revolutionary National First Computer.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me present my plan this morning. Let me process this. We read already report of the president. We agree that the president have gone under 39% of his promises.
Mm-hmm.
But this vote should be appreciated. The president has voted 39%. Appreciate the president so that the president can do more. You cannot be castigating the report that I know who bring the report and say, oh, the president of school 39%. And the other.
But
the other,
what is your point here?
What
What is your point?
What
is your point?
Okay, my point here is this. We should appreciate the president for scoring that grade. And then the president is clear that we don't know about chemicals. You don't know nothing about presidency. So I want to tell Alexander Kumi that you go back to Coca-Cola to make chemicals. You shouldn't come here to presidency.
Let's take another person. You got to pass the other side and have it. Good morning. Let's hear you. We apologize for the way in which just leave.
Boy.
Yeah, good morning. Let's hear you.
Hi, Camille.
We okay. Let's hear you. Yeah, let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Otelo Kofa Nimle. I call from Basketball County.
Let's hear you, Otelo. Go ahead.
Yeah. What the president was saying, you're not in error. Mr. Alexander Kumi knows nothing about politics or even presidency. So let us focus on the Coca-Cola and forget about the presidency. Let the president do the work. The president already move. For example, people say that the president made not 292 promises and they now complete and then they want on the way to be completed. So how much more you people want for the president to do? So if the people give the president a second chance, the 292 promises the president promised, the people will be completed. I see it.
That was not how I see you. That was there for 6 years, brother.
Yeah, no more. 200 and some promises get it done. He said, yeah,
but I don't want to talk in there, brother. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me say good morning to your many listeners. This is Bobby Abu Meska from District 6 Estikoporo. But let me appreciate you guys this morning for the topic on the discussion. You see today, this is the footballing president that promised Liberian people 200,000 promises. Nothing has been implemented since the synthesis of this footballing president. Where is the 15,000 teachers from Nigeria today? Where are they? Where is the Mahatma Gandhi? He promised to build the conference hall, the Mahatma Gandhi conference hall. Where is it today? Where is the highway? Where is the coastal highway? All the main promises, nothing implemented. That he wants to respond or to talk to people who have integrity. And Joseph Neiman Boyka, who served this country with transparency. You want to compare that with him? That does not work. The person is so lovable at times.
Okay, thank you. Let's.
Quickly to the issue.
What have you not said?
Yeah, the fact we live in Lachi. This is the president who said he pay people's school fee and Alexander Kumi bring go after today he want to leave. The money that Alexander Kumi use and our personal money today in power that is bring people money using to pay white fee and
But so what the president said that what Alexander Kumi was vice president for Coca-Cola. The president said Coca-Cola left the country. What you get to say now? The man said he brought Coca-Cola back.
It was based on so many reasons that Coca-Cola left the country because they had no interest at the time. The country was expired. It was not because of that. This is the person who played football was a robber. What he did.
Let's talk to another person.
And then they didn't do anything. They still have them put sat down with women and come at this man. So why he should throw his job as a leader?
Thank you.
Good
morning.
Good morning, Sekou.
Good morning. This is Parker and Harris. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, anyway, this is a rock of Gibraltar. Let us say I'm Hatman, according to my conquering Crystal Public brother.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
You know, when you listen to people come to spread a lot of innuendos and deception, and of course, a low level. You listen to the below level, say the president promised 200,000 promises. I don't know which one of the country that human being can promise 200,000 promises. But again, we understand the limitation of these guys. And so, look, we on the ground, we in Liberia, we've seen the reality here on ground. No institution will have to come and tell how many promises that the president may and not fulfill. The issue, the bread and butter issue, have been held to. We've seen the issue of free wide tuition fee. In the past, our mothers need to go to the capital building to go.
But the thing about it is it, right? Even the free wide tuition, you want to talk about the 14 military hospital were kept as part of the 24 promises the president said he's going to do, and he did. So you don't want to say, this is it, right? You don't want to say that it's not the work of the civil society organization to tell the president that XYZ promises they made and then do it. No, but that's what you said.
No, but Kevin, don't get me wrong. I'll now say that doesn't work. I said we will not wait for any civil society organization to come and tell us what we see with our own eyes. Even though they got their own work to do. But we've seen the reality on ground. We've seen where it's growing. We've seen the level of development that's growing. Liberia will not develop in 6 years as compared to Ghana. It's impossible. Liberia is a failed state. They conquered the past government. They won't even reach it to 60% of development, even though they stayed there for 12 years.
All right.
If Liberia just come there for 6 years, you think like you can develop Liberia up to the level of Ghana within 6 years, then you will be from utopia. You will be thinking out of the box.
Thank you. We made a point. Good morning.
Morning.
Quickly, let's hear you.
Well, Prince Jimmy Nando's a contract to acquire from the borough of Houston.
Quickly, Prince.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Prince, you need to be audible.
I want to lay my pen on the individual who just dropped the line.
Go ahead, quickly, Prince.
He said that the president is the footballing president. We agree that the president is a footballing president, but he's doing more than what the people who learn politics at that time did.
I want to believe when people say the president is a footballing president, it's also with what he's saying, right? You want to say Cummins don't have anything about politics. So people will tell him that Mr. President, they are reminding Mr. President, you came to this place, you don't have any knowledge on politics. So don't be judging the basis of people who want to be president of Liberia because they're not politicians. I think that's where people want to make a correction on.
Yes. Okay, that education should be provided fighting for it. That's brother that dropped the line where say the president was a full-body president. He's a full-body president. He understands the working of the common people. So he's providing education because the young people need education. He's providing road because we need road to get food and come in the city to buy for people to survive. We need hospital for people to go and require qualified education and treatment. We need all these things. We need playgrounds for children to go there to feed a man, for parents to go there to feed a man. We need all these things. So the prayer is providing the things. Let me appreciate it. We don't get time for it.
Let's get this person on the line. This person on line 1. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
I think it's Melvin. Calling from Bishop.
You got to dress away from your receiver. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to load it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
You know, in Liberia, our own discussion, we only discuss when we don't like the policy. There are a lot of African countries that are suffering, but you never yet see somebody buy a country where we post in the country. Because we have done a lot of things in the country that even matter education service says here that we make the comparison because we are the more in the city than everything.
Okay.
So what he did, we need to appreciate and learn how to work with him. Two, they report the pro-boy. They shouldn't bring only the report on the president, but they should go to the representative and the senators. Let it move from district to district and county to county. There are some representatives in our house that are making noise, but they don't do nothing in addition. For me, I live in the city. If I have my own way today, the man that serving as a lawmaker, you're not going to buy any power. So all these things we have to work on it and work along with the president to make our country to be better. Ghana, right? We used to praise Ghana. We say, oh, Ghana, Kuru, Ghana, go. Look at Ghana economy. Ghana, look. It broke down to it. There are people they cry on the president. So we need to work with him, man. Work with him, man. For the next 12 years, that's the 6 years. We'll see how better going to move forward. Look at the roads the man are facing. Look at school fees. Look at hospitals around the country. Look at our wild fees. It's free for other people. Other people serve the country. They couldn't do this for us. So that's my point, my brother.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person on the line. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, by the way of introduction, my name is Reverend Kuna and I call from Yamata, opposite the UL Senate campus.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, what I want to say is, according to the discussion, I want to thank people ever so much. Those are not called because what is unfolding our nation, people can hear talk, and as they talk, they say really it can be deteriorating. According to mathematics, mathematics is a science. If you promise 100%, something to do, or in school you sort of have 100%, you have 30% or 39%. Me say, but that person can be appreciated. Even when someone speaks to you, you can appreciate the person. Yeah, but my view is that according to the analysis, he said. Thank you.
Thank you. We take another call from the 5 left. This person on line 1.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Gonton from R2.
Go ahead.
What I want to say there is, I think this report places the government in a very irresponsible position because of her inability to take notice of the places the promises were made, number one. And the people who work in the government should be cognizant enough to know that when the president makes a promise, it's a promise that carries weight. They should not be using different means to confuse the Liberian people. Where we are now, we need a responsible government. You can't come out to tell your citizens that I will do this, and you can't do that. How do you expect us to trust you for the next election to give you power? And people who are protecting the government and defending the government, they are not doing well for the Liberian people.
No, that's no. It is. They have the power in their own belief. The government has worked. The same way you look at it on the opposite, when something of such is being said, they are entitled to their right, to that view.
what is happening is that we are all Liberians, despite of the fact that they are working in the government. We are all Liberian people. We should be able to seek the interest of the country instead of protecting or defending the institution of government as an institution. Because everything we do is affecting the country in general.
Thank you. Can talk to this person? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Yes,
How you doing?
Doing great. Are you?
Yes, I'm Shaka. Pass away to you, and I do join you from Bakuba Avenue.
Quickly, sir.
Yeah, let me first of all commend you guys in studio for the topic of discussion this morning. You said when we're talking about these educated people, sometimes we refer to them as an educated fool. With all of those language or they speak English, they can speak to us. Yeah, we do understand. As a people or politicians, you cannot even handle your own place, small institution. This is why this is doing. And for my grandfather, Joseph, I will encourage him. Let him stay aside. He spent good 42 years working in this country.
Is that a reason why he can't be president?
On no condition, we don't want to have an interim government. So.
The guy said,
not to this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Stevie.
Quick,
this is Nathaniel from me. Power.
Let's hear you.
Because I can remember they going to president during the country tour. They made me a lot of promises, and because you talk about it, to be frank. And the other thing we're seeing was the country and carry that sort of lie to be frank. And we put that for the men, but one day, but since that time, we have to see nothing but a president different. Without a sort of lie. And look at it, I think you saw an example about him or my I request a Coca-Cola factory. But then look at the master status as president when he came from. But today, look at they all go play on all the joint we need to be friends. You understand me?
Definitely. I want to say your point. You're making
I agree now. When you coming from, I agree now. Exactly, my then he now from football. He play football, but today
when you're complaining, you're complaining the last time say SKD or now call it about me for SKD. And you got good capacity.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The debate shouldn't be about. That's what I'm saying. I've said the debate shouldn't be about where the person came from, right? Because in Liberia, we have changed that mind that whether you can come from on a farm, you can still be a leader in Liberia. So if the president want to argue that because communists come from the private sector, Coca-Cola, he shouldn't be president, then that's
not the president's argument.
No,
that's not the president's argument.
That's what he said. He said you come from missing chemical. No, probably not missing chemical. No,
that's not the president.
He said.
I think if you
think that
but let's
take missing chemical. So if you want to say that, I mean that you want to start on
let's take more calls. Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
This is not Jackie calling from Clay Bombing County.
Let's hear you from Bombing. Let's hear you. Go ahead. We'll take your calls up to 9:20 to 9:30. Let's hear you.
All right. I want to tell you people thank you for this topic on the discussion. I really appreciate you people. The create for this government, we heard about it. I think government needs to come up to challenge the report, not by bringing the past regime into this whole thing. I can think so considerable whole thing. We are the Messiah. We need to make a change. They say continue on so fast this that the fact things were not good. Every time they been out do more than this, yeah, that's why you put that it was not good. You're keen to make improvement in the life of the people. But as when you said just one, they also they want them to do more than anything. But yes, anything what people able to do. You say, well, not good. You're coming to bring I don't know who in the country. But today now you're talking all kinds of things, this and that. Okay, we are listening, we are watching, we're hearing about their graces, and we are trying to see October 10th. If we satisfy with the gracie, we will meeting him. But if we don't satisfy with him, let him sit down and get all the portion. You will not master the people in presidential before they put you to power.
Thank you.
They were paying for around here too. They see where they're gonna come to. He go there to you. When you able to do, then you forget about who get the cashier. You never had the cashier to become president.
Okay, so Chief.
Other people.
Okay, Chief. Let's talk to this president. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
This is one of the people defending Mohammed Gitawe.
Gitawe, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. You know, for me, the government great shit, we are not going to listen to institutions that provide their own analysis. The Liberian people said that they don't want supposed to give us, so we are a great cat. Today, the role from
so they shouldn't look. They shouldn't prioritize the report that coming out. Eh?
No, I'm not saying.
So no, what are you saying now?
No, they have the right to come up with any analysis or any report.
As a government.
So the government shouldn't look at the report for some of the. But what are you saying now? What it means?
No, I'm not saying I'm not a spokesperson for government. I'm a supporter of the government. I'm a citizen
but the government
of the
listen to you. You are a supporter, so the government listen to you as well.
Hello?
Go ahead, get out.
Yeah, what I'm saying, somebody can come with a report. But even they get the government 10%, 1%, they like that their own report that they have to write. But we, the voter and the Latvian citizens, they go from Medina to a round spot, coming anywhere and then great from Latvia straight to our spot. We are seeing it. And lots of community projects have been going on by the government. They want to see and protecting the peace of the country by billion people. Will be me, the bigger organization to get us. We are a great cat. So to do the bottom buses.
Definitely. Thank you.
So somebody to come and want to denigrate the government. We will not allow.
No, the report is not denigrating the government. The report is not denigrating. It's not political. The report is not that report is not political. The report is giving exactly what the president has been saying, what the president has said he would have done. So it is just like you said something somewhere that you can't remember, but remember that someone somewhere was tracking that particular thing what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know what generally would know. Most of the reports, and you have got to call President we are attention for a lot of promises that he made to be committed. You know, but President we are injured to get in and what trying to want.
Yeah, that man can give you. Thank you, Guitar. Thank you, Guitar. Thanks for joining us. This person, good morning. Is you okay? This person online too. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Emmanuel Soros, join you for Senate.
Solo, let's hear you.
You see, with the Liberian, we have to say the truth. Even if they tell the truth below, you say it, they will not stay on your neck to drag you. But when you say you talk about 12 YFC, which pay 12 YFC, they integrate and says you're not free to pay YFC, meaning the blind person and to a person that can see. You tell the blind person to pay YFC, the person that can see. Then you tell him the person that can see, tell him to pay YFC. Then who really you helping? Librarians, we have to put to ourselves. I can look at somebody that sitting in wheelchair say cannot enroll, and somebody that get full that are able to run and tell them say sit down and get on car. Who are helping? We're not helping nobody. The only thing, President, we have to do where we from the southeastern, even go to our side in the southeastern, the more polar region in Liberia. So we have to be truthful to ourselves.
Thank you. This person, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah. My name is Major M. Grant Jr., call from Kidmount County.
Kidmount, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know this government, actually the government have told the people. You look at, they are always coming to disqualify the past government. The work that the past administration did or that they have done for this country. Can they compare that? Anywhere she makes sure she put colleges in all of the 15 counties in the Republic of Liberia. She makes sure on that. And it also makes sure to go back in
all the 15 counties they got colleges?
Come again?
All of the 15 counties they got the colleges?
Yes. No. In all of the 15 counties.
Now all of the 15 counties, brother.
You should check it up. You should
now
check
all of the
it
15 counties, brother.
You should check it up. And George Weah President Weah came from the football field today. He became president of the Republic of Liberia. Then he wants to compare himself with Alexander Coleman. What about the national team of the Republic of Liberia? He couldn't manage the national team at the time.
Thank you. Thank you. That your information again. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
In a call for the community.
Go ahead. Go community. Your name in the particular report here. Harris, Dole community, eh?
Yeah, the
The
document.
people say,
No one
what
about
is
a minute
that?
defending.
The pavement of the Dole community road to Claratown and other feeder roads in Monroe and Painesville. Let's hear you, Dole community.
One of the premises the president made and implemented. One pavement of the
Good
Dole
morning.
community.
Hello.
Yeah, listening.
You're-
This is one of the things that we are really appreciated for because
Okay.
we work in water. For us, we are not witchcraft because in Liberia we don't call it politics, we call it witchcraft activity. We are not witchcraft. Even Parkour, if I promise voice of Liberia 50 promises, then I fulfill 10, and I have 10 ongoing. That should show to you that I can complete the 50. Even if not completed yet, but that will show that I promise to do it and I want to do it and I will do it. But other people don't appreciate it. Only talk about the thing the president don't do yet. They don't talk about what he did. If you have other people that are calling now, the 200 and the summer promises, they get in there.
Okay.
So also do you hello? Yeah, so are you taking into consideration that the 50 premises, according to as per example that you're going to present to Voice of Liberia, you have a time frame attached to them, right? So it means that you say you're going to complete that 50 premises in 5 or 6 year period. And when we are nearing to the closure of that period, have 30 of those promises you have in touch. It shows that you cannot complete them in a 6 year you said to us. To us. So the next 6 years to come, if we're giving you an extension, it means that you're going to bring forth again new premises that you won't complete.
That will make us a human. According to the report, there are 91 ongoing. Have not their own bad research yet. That's the report we all are going on. We know whether we have more than 91 ongoing or more than 150 ongoing. The report tell you 191. So you
Thank you, Dole community. This president, good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I think I was saying something I went off the line. What the government should do for the Liberian people, like you said previously on the talk show, is to provide an adequate information for the citizen by which the citizen will be able to make a very concise decision. For instance, this report is a report that more Liberian people are not even knowledgeable of. I believe that by this, the government is hiding some important information that the country is supposed to know. And decision is usually made on how knowledgeable the person is. So they can't keep the people in limbo, number one. The promises that was made by the president has set the president in a bad position. The president should be sincere, or the people who are responsible for disseminating information about the government should be responsible enough to admit that the government has failed woefully because the government has not been able to fulfill the promises that she made in the past time.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, you live. Let's hear you. That person is out. So we'll take your calls up to 9:30, folks. There is this report coming in that we have to speak to our family members of Professor Jones Dopo. We receiving report that one of Liberia's best flock songwriter have launched a passionate appeal according to government and permanent citizen to help. We've been told that his health condition is becoming deplorable. So they're wanting the government to help. We will speak to any of his family members this morning on the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Paco, and good morning, Harry. How are you, sir?
The ambassador today again passed by you. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Just hope you're around, because every time we call your number, you can go to. I know how you are.
No, Harry, you not calling my number, to be honest. I told you, you're not calling me.
We'll finish calling you. Because they go on Friday the way you.
Yes, okay.
The ambassador. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, once again, my name is Tuka Chief, the ambassador for the Liberia to the issue. Harris, you know what happened in Liberia, we don't appreciate. So that why the country for this. even in a home, a lot of parents they don't appreciate if daddy do something for the mommy. Mommy will not appreciate. You understand? So that foundation is already in Liberian, that we can appreciate. If we're looking at Liberia president, you understand, we understand that this president is really, really doing well. Harris, I told you the other time, I said I was going Ghana, and Ghana, yeah. I went Ghana, and then I saw the road connectivity. I came back Monrovia, I went diesel. If anybody knows diesel in this town, that connection to reach to that other junction, it was that easy. When that road is paying for quota. What more can the president do for this country?
That question for you.
No,
that question. Not for me.
The thing about ambassador, he's not asking me to answer you, right? Because we have been singing.
Okay, in the argument, let be constructive. But the opposition coming destructive. It can be,
But the man said.
So, Toga, this is the thing, right? The president 292 in total, like he said, going to do 292 different things. The president said you're going to do in 6 years. Now, one thing are responsible. I'm saying one of the things the president should consider is a time frame. So 292 premises. How will we divide each of the premises in 6 years? It'll be like
how sure are you that the premises are going on?
No, the problem this is a 177 of those premises, which is to tear, hasn't even started yet. So
you're not appreciate the other one.
No. Listen, the thing about it. Listen, Toga, listen. You don't want to place me in a position that I'm not appreciating the president for the 24 premises completed. The 24 premises are also essential. You want to talk about the wild fee. You want to talk about the land rights.
Ambassador. All right, thank you.
No, I'm not saying that.
Talk about you.
You got generate. So you go to the institution.
No, we're not saying that. I'm naming those. I'm saying some of the things the president said he would do that he's doing. It's what I'm naming now. You want to talk about the wild fee. You want to talk about the passage with land rights act, right? These are things the president said he's going to do that he did already. But also want to look at.
Is that going on?
Okay, Ambassador, thank you.
Right after the show, 1 minute after 10 o'clock, I'll call you.
Back up.
Ambassador.
1 minute after 10, we'll call you.
Ambassador, Ambassador.
I'm going to call you.
I appreciate, but we should be constructive.
Definitely, we are doing it.
We should be appreciative to our president.
I'm going to call you right after the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning to you guys in studio Voice of Liberia. And let me say good morning to all our precision listening. My name is Roosevelt G. Pato, member and official of the Blue Rangers of Mighty Coalition of Democratic Change.
Let's hear you go ahead, my brother.
Let me appreciate you guys for the topic on the discussion. You see, we are not people that people as an institution will just come with information with us giving us the detail and then telling us that indeed all of the promises that the president have made is 290 some more, while telling us that he has fulfilled 100 and some more. We need if they want to be factual, we need list.
I think I will encourage you to read a report.
But man, go for the report. You haven't read the report.
They mention all of those promises. The one the president done, the president have done. They mention it. The ones that he said he would do that he hasn't touched, or they mention it as well. So if you read a retired report, then you will get all information on what you want.
So indeed, then why can I get those reports?
Just go on NAMOT. It's NAYMOT NAMOT. So when you Google NAMOT, you see that official website. Once you go there, you see the president picture is very big, and you see the meetup report, and you can read through it.
Okay, thank you for that.
It was welcome. We'll talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You live.
This is Ibrahim. Yeah, whatever. Hello?
If you go ahead.
You see, the problem about the government to be friend. The government into power. Our expectation too hard to be friend. Because even when people saying that we should continue to appreciate President we are, then with me, we should appreciate President or the past government to be friend. Because when you go to the state, we are seeing a hangman into the southeast, but seeing the mental power, we not see nothing in our side to be friend. Besides being able to that being able to in Southland that way he came from to be friend. But because I go to this one, all of them you get nothing there to be friend. But go from there to come all the president that quota. That's just that today people enjoying free that they pass comment. But seeing you get it, what you gonna do for the eating on the be friend? Then today one more appreciate the men working. You not do nothing. Let me tell you now, nothing I'm been through it. It was so good for whatever president we are. Because when I'm going to say, oh, that man lost the country, get question, I know saying we go by so then I'll put there. He doing nothing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because the guy is saying they're not doing anything for.
Good morning.
Good morning, you lived.
There's a Marcos, Stemlo, calling from Tisfinan, Fiamma.
Go ahead, Paco.
Thank you. Happy New Year to we all. Yes. Thank you for the topic. This country, if everyone, no one can depose you, the federal channel in our studio, if we go out on the decent platform, yeah, no one can depose. What the fire is, we must talk it. No one sentence is in the coming to power and people. No, the journalists, they're part of the issue. What the impact of the Liberian people will talk, people say this. They come in for the people, not party, they put the blue first. Who put party, the party, CDC, ANC, no. Who put the country first. No one can depose me, no one can depose you, no one can depose the president from here. But what the issue of the country, we are suffering, we're suffering. It became a report that came from the past leadership. We should not be ungrateful. We're not very important.
Thank you. We shouldn't be ungrateful. We'll talk to this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your life. What's the name of your from?
Yeah. I'm Tamabuno calling from Kawa. You know, I will always tell the Liberian people, when the hunter go in the bush, you lay the trap down. The animal will forget, but the trap cannot forget. Anytime when that animal passes there, the trap will hold the food. So anything that the people do it today, you should remember that they will come back right to you. And let me tell you, President Weah is now a magician. He is doing very well. You know, as your station know very well that when President Weah get to power, say in now or Congo man, in now so person, many things have been going in the place here, and many things with the promises that God Weah made or President Weah made, it could be succeed. But many things have been going, the coronavirus, the demonstration in the town. But I tell you, say when you lay trap down, the animal can forget, but the child will never forget. Thank you.
Okay, this is Good Morning Liberia, 104.1 FM. And, we're talking about the president's, the president's meter. So the 24 promises, as per NAMO's report, the payment of the WAS fees for all 12th grade students, public and private schools, renovation of the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital, the passage of the Land Rights Act, the reduction of salaries for public officials under the executive branch of government, pavement of the Dole Community Road to Clarentine, and other feeder roads in Monrovia and Painesville. Yes, that we can attest to. The construction of Nucleotine fire victims' homes, the revised and launched of the National School Curriculum, grades 1 to 12, the suspension of the pre-shipment inspections. That's a PSI penalty until otherwise notified. The construction of the modern state-of-the-art market structure in Ominka, construction of the 14 military hospital, the donation of 30 sewing machines to women in suffering time, Dawson District 1, Margibi County. Okay, these are some of the promises so far from the president. The construction of the state-of-the-art modern referral hospital in that's Riverside County. Yes, the construction of the Emirates Hospital in Bapolu County, complete and furnished with computers, a youth resource center in Foya Lofa County, provide cars for traditional leaders in Maryland, expand street lights project to River G County, construction of market in Bull Waterside, Grand Caitman County, let up the main street of Banka, that's Government, Bapolu County, provide street lights for major streets in Zweju, provide motorbikes for Grand Jida Christian Council, provide additional street lights in Banka Bon County, construction of market Sarara Bon County. Right there. That's it. We move on now. Harris, we got to move on. Is 26 minutes up to 10. And what what they color say, Harris? We talk to the man. Let's take this last color. If this person, let's hear it. Hello, just away from your receiver, please. You can treat us that way. So Liberians, let's move on now. We want to end on that particular conversation. There is this thing that we need to speak to, and it is important as well. And the family members of Professor Jones Dopo, one of Liberia's best songwriters. They have launched a passionate appeal to the government of Liberia, permanent citizens, to help him get advanced medical treatment. And according to John Dopo, who is the son and one of the daughters, they said their father's health is seriously deteriorating, and they want an immediate assistance from either the government, to come in. This is where we are. We're talking about the man who sang the song Sweet Cassava Leaf. Harris, Professor Jones Dopo sang the song, yes. Sweet Cassava Leaves and other songs. He served Liberia for too many years, provided some level of education to Liberians, and now we're receiving this report from family members that he is now well in his condition. And this morning, the photo that I saw, it is not too good for him. Remember the late Joseph Seguano. Remember the late Joseph Seguano, one of Liberia's best, someone that we could talk about years in, years out, and will continue to reference because of his contributions. At a certain point, when he took sick, we talked about it, and he needed to have been given a type of treatment that, when people of such nature are being or are in such a condition, when looking at the time, their lifestyle, the way they contributed immensely to the development of a country, you don't want to treat them, or you don't want to play blind eyes and act as if nothing is happening at all. So we will talk to the son of Mr. Jones Dopo, John Dopo. John Dopo will join us live on the line. I hope we got it. Or yes, John Dopo will join us live on the line. to tell us about his father's health. Yes, to tell us about his father's health. Good morning, Mr. Dopo. How are you? Welcome to Voice of Liberia.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you tell us, can you confirm your location, where exactly you joined us from?
Well, for now, I live in Carrotsburg, there where I am.
Okay, you in Carysbro. Okay, that is in Moserado County. It is our understanding that the family of your father, you people have launched a passionate appeal calling on the government, permanent citizens as well, well-meaning citizens, to help your father seek an advanced medical treatment. Firstly, tell us the condition linking your father's health. Can you give us a picture?
All right, thank you very much. The old man has to sick. He doesn't walk anymore. He just now stay lying in the same place doing almost everything on himself. Besides, we are going your way and then trying our best. But my brother, we don't know what to do again. In fact, what we are contemplating is how to get him out of here so that he can go to his room. That's our highest point of contemplation.
I don't get it when you said you guys have done all you can, but nothing seems to be working. Can you explain better?
His health is not improving because he's aging. Out of his 83 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one December on the 4th, he's 83 years. So because of his aging, things are not very well with him.
But okay, it will always happen when people are aging. Sometimes their health, the strength the way it was when they were their 50, 20, it would not be that way. But is it that we have does he have any health complication aside from aging?
Yes, he has health complication. His brother has been at times he doesn't really eat well. Even when the food is available, he doesn't eat well. He stays and just talk something or sometimes out of the way. Why would not expect him to talk? He's talking. Like he's talking to a spirit or whatever it is. But bless God, we got a sister who is a nurse. At times she treats him and he wake up a bit, but not to the extent that we're expecting.
It is. You want to come here?
Yeah, I had a question, and I believe he's getting me from this end.
Yeah, there's a question coming to you.
Are you hearing me?
Are you
hearing me, my brother?
Harris, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm asking that different hospitals in Liberia, like the GFK, the 14 military hospital, and Lex of so. Sometimes you want to take someone out when you have received advice from doctors. Have you taken him to any hospital in Liberia where they told you that perhaps the situation you need to be flown out of the country for advanced treatment?
For now, no better hands. We would have been to Bensonville Hospital.
And what did the people say at Bensonville Hospital?
Well, we were told that he needs intensive care. He needs to rest for stress and other things, and nothing else actually he's doing that will get his stress. We are doing almost every other thing to feed him, but he's not doing. He's not working. He doesn't have any other responsibility on him. Now we care for him.
Yeah, because if a statement of such comes out that you have launched a passionate appeal to Liberians to seek advanced medical treatment, and then the question that Harris asked, it raises concern that Professor Jones Dopo has worked for Liberia, and he is in such a condition and cannot get treatment. So one might think that he is ill and he cannot move, and the best way has been recommended by doctors after you should have taken him to maybe some medical facilities like a JFK, and then they recommend that he needs advanced medical treatment.
We say our greatest concern now is because of the stage, we should just get him out of here, my brother. because we don't have money. We can't carry him any other place or any other places other than Liberia. No money, none of us doing anything better.
So since you started this appeal, have you heard or maybe have you maybe like someone from the government angle has called to say, okay, we'll be able to help, or civil society, or maybe permanent citizen as a whole?
Thank you very much. We have not received calls from any official of government, but we've been receiving calls from friends, especially this morning, that they're going to do all they can to help, especially to get him out of Monrovia.
But getting him out of Monrovia, is it that you guys just want to get him out of Monrovia, the place you carry him, will it solve the problem whenever he is in his own time, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, some of us are there. I mean, some of the children are there to get him better care because almost everybody in Monrovia is busy. We just have to find something because we also have family, so he needs to be there so that some of us can get him the better care. Why?
But that doesn't solve the problem when he is now well. That doesn't solve the problem when he is now well and not being taken to hospital.
You will go to the hospital when he's there. He's actually not going to remove that part of his room. He's going around separately. That's why they got doctors. They even have hospitals so that any other thing we have, we can be able to get him and he be treated.
When people want to come in to help, how do they get to you people?
Well, you can get to us by means of communication. And for now, he's at Silver Beach around this R2N. That's where he is with my sister, with my younger sister, and I in Garrison.
Oh, okay.
But we also got a number that if you want to get to him, I can give you my sister's number to get to him.
So so Jerry, read your sister's number let people know exactly what we're talking about.
0777
90 44 19. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, brother.
Okay. He is John Dopo. Is our understanding he is the son of Professor Jones Dopo. Have you listened to John?
Yeah, I listened to John, and what I've understood is that the family just want to have a support to take him out of Monrovia, maybe get him somewhere, especially his aged 83 years or so. You expect these things to happen. And so they just want to take him from Monrovia, where they will send him to a place where he will relax and have all what he needs during his last days on earth. So for me, that's what I'm understanding, because like you listen to him, he talks abruptly, he sees things just the way, out of his head without knowing, and sometimes the implications of what he said. And like you try to point him on track, these things happen when the person are aging. So at this time, what he needs is what? Intensive care. What he needs is that everything you think medically, you mean, you want to talk about food, you want to talk about clothes, you want to talk about everything will be provided.
I don't
to
know
him.
whether we can get to the daughter.
And so that's it. So for me, I'm thinking that's
I don't know whether we can get to the daughter. She could give us.
Yeah, but it's also important you get away from her if the need be. If
Yes,
you
yes. So we can
can,
get to the daughter.
but
As well.
it's also important we give you a reflection. In like very quick for the other people.
Yeah.
James Dropo is the sweet Kazali man, right? His music inspires a lot of Liberians. Yeah, those of us that follow traditional music in Liberia.
Good morning, ma'am. How you doing? Okay, this is April Parker from Voice of Liberia. We just received your number from Mr. John Dopo. I think he is. But this is it. We received this information that your father health is deteriorated, and you people have launched a passionate appeal. Calling on Liberians, the government, and we thought that we could amplify. We just spoke with John on the line, and we thought of having a clearer picture of what actually it is from your end as a daughter who is taking care of Mr. Jones Dopo.
Yeah, he's my father. He must be here right now. Well,
Okay, so what exactly is happening to him?
from the time I'm talking to where he was with our mother, he don't walk. He just lying down one place. I'm on this one, I think. 12 years, almost 13 years now. He the one when we live here, we get him out. He live here, we live here, we carry him back inside. But the condition getting worse, so I want so we can carry him up to my elderly brother.
But have you been able, maybe the family member could come together, take him to a hospital, and then you could detect what the problem is, and if someone is to help, how they can help it?
He lives. My hala live sister. She's a nurse too.
Mm-hmm.
She living in Dwazon here too.
Okay.
And I mine somebody area to Dwazon right on the tree across the market. So she's a nurse. When we see him coming down, he not eating nothing. She brings medicine, treating, giving crib and with some fatty, and then he will start eating. But the walking, he don't usually do it. He not walking again. We leave her to do everything.
But why you people are not thinking of carrying him to hospital? It is that no money to carry him or what?
We do not have money. I'm a total here, just living by the God grace. We do not have money, and secondly, he's old. He's old, so he just living on trust. When they bring the medicine, he take it. After 2 weeks, he eats, and maybe the third week, he will not get appetite to eat. Then she will come, treating like how we doing it off and on, like how we contact our lay person. They should lay well. We try to carry him up because I'm a lady. I can't always be towing my father for his condition now.
But has your sister, who is the nurse, been able to tell you people what exactly is happening to him?
She noticed that he got enough time for him. So each time when he fall on, she brings on time for dress and tea. He take it, he sweat. Maybe for about 1 week, she giving that treatment for that time he will be sweating through, and then from there when the treatment stops, then he begins to eat.
And you say you people are in Dwazon, right?
Yes.
Dwazon. Okay.
Dwazon right behind the market. Now where I live, where I find somebody land, and I took him and put him there because where he was not taking good care of him, so I went and took him from there.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. We will be in communication with you people.
Okay, Baba. Yeah, thank you for your concern.
Okay. So this is a situation, fellow Liberians. Those of you viewing, those of you listening, this is the situation. We just decided to elevate their plea, and they calling on the people now, the government. I think we as a country needed to give this man a real lifetime achievement award, where when someone has walked not just in the music arena and Harris, but he also imparted knowledge and passed down knowledge to Liberian students today, and they are benefiting, and today they can make decisions for themselves, their families, and some are in the governance space of our country. Like in the case of the late Joseph Seguan, we don't want for this man to just pass, then people start to say, rest in peace, he was a hero, he was this, he was that. I think it is about time. At his age, I think 83, right? At his age, yes, these things will happen. But again, at this point of his life, whenever something is being done, or maybe the government moves in, or private institutions, eminent citizens, move in to help, and later maybe a ceremony can be held where he can be honored for his services rendered to Liberia. Even if he passed, he will forever remember. He will forever remember that, yes, even during his dark days, he was remembered and he was honored. Mind you, it was a little reflection of Olu Jacob when he took sick and people felt like, hey, the rumor came that, he had passed and the rest of it. And Nano, he was at the hospital and later recovered. And during one of the birthday celebrations, the people had to award him. And though he was not really in his right frame of mind, but he remembered that there was an event ongoing and it was in his best interest. Representative Rachel Kuhn uh, submitted a bill to the Liberia National Legislature, most especially the House of Representatives, where he said he was pushing for the Liberian government to provide assistance to to eminent citizens. But to date, we don't know the status of that particular bill. So basically, he wanted for the government to, you know, be able to people like Jones Dopo at the point where he is now, where government could provide assistance to them. The late Joseph C. Guanyi and the rest of the people who have served to Liberia. But again, that's the Liberia National Legislature for you. They only do things that they will benefit from. The former lawmakers are complaining that they didn't get a pay. These are things that they can be very, very serious on. Harris, we can play the song and we'll open the line and I will call it a day on this segment. Professor Jones Dopo, you listen to the son, you listen to the daughter, they are calling on all of us as Liberians. We'll open the line for you this morning. You have your say this morning.
You take it from Peter to the Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, where the rich or poor. Why not pray for a long fellow? He can pray for a long life. As long as they live, the better we grow. Power is found. It can make you heavy. It's just like a brook, they pay to capsize.
HotLBR.com, piggy. HotLBR.com. Exclusive from HotLBR.com.
If you marry bravo, my every day, Pambata, we let it to Tabatu. If you marry Baza, my every day, full money, Tonica Muriari, Chinica, Bonnie, Monkey, you better help you up. If you marry Buza, woman, every day, Tawaki, the one in Ganaya. If you
Exclusive from HotLBR.com.
I am the warrior. The warrior that you done along so well. My friend has too much on me. Now I just don't know what to do. But to put my head and cry for my lovely needs of death.
So this is Professor Jones Dopo, deeply worried. It is time now to show love to the old man. It is time to show love to the old man. So the numbers, for the family members, you can call. Those of you who want to reach out to the family members, you call on these numbers 0777 904419 0777 904419 0886 444 507 0886 444 507 0770 82 that's 0777 08 2309 0777 08 2309. 0886 444 509. 0886 444 509. That's 507, sorry, and 0777 904419. The numbers you're going to reach out to the family members. You listen to the son and daughter of Professor Jones Dopo. So we'll take your calls. We'll take 2-3 calls. We'll call it a day. We have the news coming up. Yeah, so the news is at 10. Yes, we got 2 minutes to go. So you call us 0770-907-907 are the numbers, and you'll be live on Good Morning Liberia 104.1 FM. It's about time now. We show love to Professor Jones Dopo. We don't want, God forbid, when he passed, and at the end result, we come out to say he was this, he served the country, he was this one, and the rest of it. That will be very belated. So no time now, folks. So like we read out the numbers for you. You can get to the family. They're calling on the government. They're calling on private citizens. People, well-meaning Liberians can move in and help Professor Jones Dopo. Harris, we got to go.
Yeah, we have to go, and definitely will be on Wednesday with another edition of the program.
So join us on Wednesday to then have yourselves a wonderful time. My name is April Parker, Harris Benya. Thanks to all of you for watching the live. We acknowledge you following us, and we appreciate joining us at every time on the show in making Liberia a better place. The New Africa, it says, wow, it means no more hope. So they want him back home until the last day. Oh, Liberia, where are you? Oh, yes, I think what the family members said, they saying that they want to take the man back home. Thomas and Sabo, thanks for joining us. Santos Coppo, George and Williams, Solomon, Jimin, Musa, Beriti Pekin, the New Africa, Emmett Hammond from Kakata, thanks for joining us. Daddy Nai, Hassan Gulafale, thanks for joining us. And Sukuma and the rest of the folks. Join us on another time. Till then, have yourselves a wonderful time. The news is up next. Have yourselves a great time.
Get a quick phone.